Hello, welcome back to the podcast. This week's episode. We're running a little bit late tonight. We had a fellow dad work a little later at his job, so we held the podcast back a little bit. No big worries. We're here. Um, Coming back, it's myself, Nightmare. Joining me is Mad Mikey and Crypt Nurse.
What's up, guys?
So,
Sorry, the holdup was for me.
Hey, you got a job. It's doing more than just pay bills, so I don't mind holding back and staying up late for you guys. Oh, let me pull up the docket. We got a full list of stuff to go through. I don't even think Mikey's ready for his hyperdrive today, are you?
I got some stuff, but just a heads up to everybody, I am getting sick, so
Well, not only
yeah.
that, but you're also grabbing some extra fun times with the group, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be running D&D here starting Monday.
So you're trying to work out the logistics. But
Mikey,
Trying to return.
I hate to break it to your listeners, but I talked to you off the podcast, and you aren't getting sick. You are sick.
yeah,
Oh, you mean physically?
Yeah, I mean actual sick. Health
yeah,
wise.
he's I guess is the pollen finally get up there?
On what tree leaves? Come on, dude. No, this is just the melt sick. I mean, it happens every year.
Oh, gotcha.
All the dust is being exposed, and it's just nasty.
Yeah. Well,
Half my work's out with the flu right now.
jeez. Um, it's jumping back and forth from being brisk to being warm over here, so so it's kind of hard with people with sinus and allergy issues like myself, especially when I gotta work outside.
Oh, killed the dude. Awesome.
And Mikey's playing his
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter right now. I just got done with a little bit. We'll get to that.
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy.
Well, as long as we're jumping on that, I'm also currently playing Let's Go Pikachu.
Alright. And go ahead and take it away, Mikey, with your hyper jump.
Anime. Yay. Pretty much spring anime is wrapping up, guys. If you are looking to what's coming, please feel free to check out sources such as Animews, stuff like that. I mean, great people there, great work ethic. So, pretty much just check them out for the spring lineup. Winter anime is getting over. If you haven't watched them all yet, I'd do so quickly because it's looking like a bunch of them are going to be switching services. Pokemon does have a couple new tins out. They have the art tins, the Kanto art tins, which are going to be just pretty much a mirage in the back. And it got a couple packs of Pokemon cards in it. And then Detective Pikachu is having some tins come out now, too. So check those out. And that's it.
All right. Like I said, it's been kind of a hectic week for all of us. It's the end of the month for me for work, and it's also the end of the quarter. So I'm actually having to work Saturday and Sunday this weekend, but I do get off next Friday for my son's birthday weekend. So been shopping for that too, which has been a pain in the butt. But I got some pretty good Hot Wheels stuff going his way, and his grandpa got him a Switch. So
Nice.
so we all know what the first game is going to be on that thing.
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yeah, and then probably going to get Smash after that.
Not a bad way to go.
Nah, because
Nope.
that was the first game he got introduced in and allowed him to play. Um, just real quick, going over to docket today, what we're going to be covering, a lot of PlayStation uh, state of play and their new rule about digitals. We also got a future models of Nintendo Switch coming out, a couple of game exclusives released, a couple other esports stuff. Um, real quick, the Minecraft creator name was removed from its loading screen.
Yep, Notch.
If you don't know, he's been going through like a conspiracy burn down spiral, I guess you would call it.
Oh, he's gone fucking crazy.
Well, you know more about it than I do. Go ahead and educate us.
Like, no joke, he's spreading like white genocide type conspiracy theories and all that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, Microsoft is trying to distance themselves as far as possible from him.
yeah, especially with
And while
them
they
trying to get with Nintendo as well.
Yep.
But, so that's just a black sheep in the family they're trying to disconnect from. But in other news,
Yeah.
that the CEO, when the PlayStation 3 came out, his name is slipping my mind right now. It's like Guitar Hero, something like that.
Yes.
He's actually retiring after like 35 years at Sony.
Well, that's kind of good thing. I mean, he saw it to where it is today, so let's give the man some rest. You know, same thing with Reggie.
Well, he's still gonna be like around.
Jim Ryan is set to take over for John Codera.
No. This is Kaz Hiria. He was the one that led to Sony's turnaround of the PlayStation 3 launch.
Oh, gotcha.
I cannot. Yeah, he became the Sony CEO in 2012, replacing Sir Howard Stringer. He stepped down from CEO in April 2018. And Kenichiro Yoshida. Okay. But yeah, he's 35 years at Sony.
I'd say he's earned a retirement.
Well, he's still
Yeah,
gonna be
definitely.
like an advisor for the company too. So he's not like just going full fledged. Let's go build a cabin in the woods retirement. He's still a chairman and a senior advisor to the company that provide counsel as requested by Sony's management team. So.
I give him mad credit just for hanging in there when
The PlayStation
when the
3.
PlayStation 3 came out, and that thing just... I love my PlayStation 3, don't get me wrong. It was one of my favorite generations. But when that came out in terms of sales, that was a train wreck.
Well, I mean, it did cost, you know what, $600, $700?
The
At launch?
original
So-
base model,
Was it like
the-
600?
it was $375 for the simplest, smallest hard drive, the crappiest, basest, no extras, no flares model, and the halfway decent model was upwards of $600.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the base model had like nothing. Like it played Blu-rays and it played video games and it had a hard drive that was like a P.
I thought they could backwards compatibility too for a little bit.
The original one did, and the original one with the backwards compatibility was the $600 one. And to get the backwards compatibility, you actually had to get the second tier hard drive, if I remember right.
I'm not quite sure.
It was rare. It was rare-ish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a little quick bit. I guess the taxi, if you want to call it, company Lyft went public with their stock.
Oh, God.
Oh, so they're publicly traded now?
Yeah, they ended out the day 9%. Whatever that means. Didn't know that
I think
they
that's
were...
what they went up.
They broke even today, I guess. I don't know. Just looking at it.
I'll be honest, I don't follow stocks or really understand it.
It was on the website. I was just looking out for the CEO information. Real quick, we'll talk about the state of play for PlayStation, which I did. I called it, didn't I? Last week.
It was fucking awful.
But I did call what they were going to focus on, didn't I?
Yeah, and they're gonna lose so many customers comes next gen.
Okay, you're gonna have to fill me in because again, worked all week, so I totally missed this.
The state of
Have you heard of VR? Because that's what they're promoting.
yeah. So PlayStation Monday had a state of play, kind of like the Nintendo Direct, where they showed about 15 trailers, and
Yeah.
12 of them were VR titles coming out.
Okay, but what about people like me where VR just makes me violently nauseous and gives me migraines? I'm not interested in that.
Well, they did show Days Gone, and what else? Oh, Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yep.
But they are not trying to follow the trend of, hey, let's go streaming our games and stuff like everybody else is. But they are kind of focusing on what they have exclusive to their console, which would be the VR. Because other than some Steam, VR is kind of exclusive to PlayStation as far as consoles, quote unquote. But
I don't know. It just
leads you to wonder, like, yeah, this might get you to jump into VR, but I don't think they're going to be, to answer your question before we went live, as far as the next gen, I think we might see another 3 years until a next gen, because you got a couple of titles still coming out, and you don't want to push those off of consumers because your
Right.
next gen's coming up.
Well,
And
it actually just came up. My partner, her ex-husband, was talking about it, about whether or not the next gens are going to start really being pushed, and I'm like, I don't think we're close enough yet. I think right now, if you remember the last gen, we're in that tantalizing, we're teasing, this is what it might look like, this is what we're toying with it doing, but we're nowhere near that actual releasing a concept phase, and I figure we're at least 2 years out from an actual physical console sitting on our shelves.
I think so too. Just because of the fact that usually when PlayStation's about to make an announcement or release something, they really go radio silent on a lot of stuff.
Right.
And right now we've heard a little bit here and there. They're really pushing this VR, and they don't want to really push VR if there's going to be an upgrade VR coming, which I think there might be a PSVR disconnect, quote unquote. I'm not sure what name you want to give it, but they might have a wireless headset coming, or a somewhat wireless headset coming.
That'd be nice.
Well, especially if it's with the PlayStation 5, not with the 4. I mean, I could see, like, people getting interested in the PlayStation VR. I mean, I've been on the fence about it for a while, and hearing other people saying that there's a lot of stuff going into it for wires and being just involved and taking the time to set it up. And with the PSVR, you have one motion capture camera, so it's kind of like iffy. So I'm still like 30% wanting to get it, and pretty much the only reason why I want to get it is for my son. He enjoys VR, and he would only enjoy that 2 times a month, or 2 weekends a month, excuse me. So, but State of Play, it was crisply done. I would say that. It wasn't like a gaggle It was pre-recorded in a couple trailers, which honestly I did like how they did the Mortal Kombat trailer with the music and stuff. But other than that, it wasn't really too interesting. It opened up with a really cheap Iron Man VR game. But but there's other announcements that's been coming on. If anybody's a Persona 5 fan, they're making another Persona 5 Royale. That's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, which I've never played any of the Persona games. But
I'm trying to remember if I've played any either. I think I might have played a demo of one. That's about it.
Plus the Persona 4 Golden is the only one I played. Golden Arena.
But as of April 1st, PlayStation is pulling all their brick and mortar stores' digital sales off shelf. And that's even including Days Gone and MK11. They are telling people if they've got a digital copy reserved with GameStop, they're advised to switch to a physical copy. The only way you'd be able to buy a digital game from PlayStation Store is through the PlayStation Store instead of a third-party store.
Okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah. And you know how...
They're worried about people skimming off the top.
Well, you know how I feel about that. I'm full digital-only PlayStation. My PlayStation 4 that I bought at Black Friday has never had a disc inside of it. Still.
Right.
Now there's been times where I've bought digital games from like Newegg or somewhere like that off of a site I look at for deals. So that really would like upset me that now the only way I can get cheap discounted digital games for my PlayStation is through the PlayStation Store, which they do run a lot of sales. I will say that.
I'll be honest, I misinterpreted what you wrote in the notes, and what I thought they were doing was refusing to sell digital games made by a third party, which I'm like, what kind of business model is that?
No.
So they're just saying, like,
you can't go to GameStop.
when I go to Walmart and I go get the digital card for Drake's Fortune, for example.
Yeah.
Just pulling a name out of my hat. That won't happen anymore. That won't be allowed.
Yep. Even with the game that's coming out April 16th, Days Gone, you can't...
Mm-hmm.
If you have one reserved for digital at GameStop, you have to go in and change it to a physical game.
Well, we all know that GameStop's not going to be nice enough to change it to physical for you because GameStop sucks. So, yeah, you're going to have to.
Yep.
Well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to throw a lot of hate at GameStop because, quite frankly, I could take my entire gaming setup in there right now, and they're like, we'll give you 50 cents and a used condom.
Well, they're taking retro games now, so that's a plus, I guess.
No, I really object to that because the people at GameStop are barely gamers most of the time. Most of them don't know how to tell the difference between a legit copy of, say, Pokemon Sapphire and a fake. So there's a 50-50 chance you're buying a bootleg game and not knowing it, thinking you're getting a legit copy, because the guy at GameStop buying it has no clue how to take the cartridge apart, look at it, and tell the real deal versus a bootleg.
Yeah.
They're not training anybody on how to do this. They're just taking in merchandise that, if it looks real enough, it's good enough. And, I mean, I've spotted things that were clearly fakes, and I'm not even an expert at spotting, original versus fakes.
Yeah.
Some of them were just that bad.
The only reason why I would go to GameStop is to either buy a console that's new. Let me put that out there. That's a new console, which I did for my PlayStation Pro. They were running a really good deal. Get any like Control Freaks, like the little joystick snap-ons,
Mm-hmm.
or like any like video game paraphernalia, like Funk Pacas or
Right.
yeah, stuff like that. Because
Be honest, do those control freaks even really make that much of a difference?
it's comfortability for me, and yes, they do for me.
I've never noticed the difference even when I had them. So
I've been on the fence about buying them because I've heard from most people that it really just depends on the person. Some people say they're the greatest things since ever, and other people are just like, they're there, it's kind of nice, but whatever.
I've noticed them with shooters more than anything. But that's the only time I'll use them. And I use anywhere. I've got the Vortex ones, I've got the Galaxy ones, and I've also got the blue ones. I don't know which one that one is. But I like them. One of my friends told me about them, and I tried them out, and it helped out a lot. There's some research behind it, but I don't even know it. I'm just a normal person. Let's see.
I mean, if they were gonna legit help with the sensitivity or something, maybe, but
They do.
do they?
It basically like bumps it up maybe either from a half point to a full point. Like if you have your settings on 5 in your game, they probably put it at like a 6 or a 5.5.
Right.
And it all depends because there's two different ones that you can get. That is a short one or a taller one. And for mine, I got double talls. So, I mean, for $14 ain't too bad.
Nah, but again, I mean, I'll play the odd Call of Duty here or there, but the closest I come to shooters, like if they were going to make me a little more accurate with the bow, since I usually play an actual stealth archer, not what most people call a stealth archer, in Skyrim, that might be worth it.
It's more or less for the quick, snappy, first-person Call of Duty types. I use them for Red Dead. I don't really notice a difference with them on or off, but like if I'm playing like Apex, then yeah, I'm gonna use them because I started using them with Destiny 1, and they're pretty good. No, we're not sellouts. We're not sponsored by Control Freaks.
And while we're getting into that, before anybody writes in and complains, the reason I say a true stealth archer is everybody claims that, oh, I set out to make this and I actually build a stealth archer. No, most of the time what you do is you go into easy mode and you build an archer. A stealth archer is actually good at not getting caught. If you're constantly being caught, constantly paying fines, and you can't pick a pocket to save your life, you aren't a stealth anything.
Or you just build the God Ring.
Well, I mean, it drives me nuts because the whole point of something like that is roleplay. And if you're going to roleplay a character, legit roleplay the character. But that means, a stealth archer should be stealthy. You shouldn't get caught. You should be part. And you also have to consider which organizations would gel with the type of character that you are and which deities you would align with and which ones you wouldn't. But again, I'm from the old school D&D nerds, so the concept of a paragon character to me means a little bit more than, say, some 15-year-old who just goes, screw it, the bow's easier.
Yeah. I missed out on the free Morrowind the other day.
Morrowind was free? Where?
On PC.
Oh, well, screw it. I can't play it there anyway.
Also, real quick, yesterday Borderlands 3 was revealed. I haven't played Borderlands since the first one. And
they're not bad.
They're not bad, but it's another looter shooter. What was the advertisement? Like 500
yesterday.
No, 500 billion different guns, was it?
Oh yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
For me, the big turnoff that kept me away from it for a long time, honestly, was the animation style.
Oh, it's a lot worse now. Like,
And once
looking at the
I got over that, it wasn't bad. The gameplay is actually pretty solid, but just the animation style makes it look like a bad. It makes it look like one of those animes we used to watch on Cartoon Network in high school.
but
Yep.
Actually, it makes those actually look really good.
the thing now is though is that like even in the during the trailer, it was like really jumpy, and I was like, eh.
Now, is that just because the gameplay is not refined enough because we're still looking at raw stuff, or are they showing like, is it gonna be that bad? Do you think?
I don't know. Over 1
Could be
billion
that bad.
guns. There's over 1 billion guns. And they even have walking turrets now. And
Interesting.
and mechs. They got mechanized power armors, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, like I said, I haven't played it since the first one. And I think I played the second one. I got power leveled, so I don't really remember much of that. And they're remastering it now too.
Yep. In fact, it should be free.
Should be.
Yep, they were saying Borderlands 1 and 2 are going to be free on Xbox or some shit.
Yeah, the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which
Oh, I'm
right
just
now-
expired.
and speaking of passes, if you have Twitch Prime, you can get a year of Nintendo Pass for free.
Yeah, I'll take the 3 months I started with and see if it doesn't completely suck first. So far, I'm not overly impressed.
Well, you get to play a lot of classics like Super Mario World or something like that.
Yeah, but I get to play all those same classics on my NES Classic, and I don't have to go online or pay a monthly subscription for that.
Well, I think Twitch
Literally-
Prime. What is it? Twitch
Yeah, it's a Twitch Prime thing. You get it for free.
for how long?
For an
All
entire
the
year.
classics that
For
they're offering right now, at least, are all on my NES Classics. So for me, that's not an incentive to spend the money. I mean, I did. I bought a 3-month membership just to see because it was $8.
Well,
And I'm like, well, if I like it, I'll keep going, and if I don't like it, well, that's just gonna go because I'm not
Well,
gonna pay for it if it's not worth it to me.
well, you got until September 2019, Jay. And if you got Amazon Prime, you can get 12 months of Nintendo Switch for free.
Oh, no kidding.
So,
Yeah.
hey. And, like, they got Tetris 99 in there.
Yeah, I downloaded it.
And
I played it. I'm not very good at it.
Seeing that my son's about to get a Switch, hey. This is something that you'll like to hear there, Jay. Breath of the Wild developers are hiring for another exciting installment into their studios.
Well, yeah, a new Zelda game does. To be fair, Breath of the Wild wasn't officially for the Switch. It just took so long to perfect that they said, screw it, we're putting it on the Switch. Breath of the Wild was originally made for the Wii U. It was kind of... Zelda tends to be the swan song for a lot of the consoles, and it was supposed to be the swan song for the Wii U, and in a way it was. You can get it on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it really wasn't made for the Switch, and so to be fair, the Switch is kind of waiting for its own true Zelda release that just belongs to the Switch. So I can see them running another one coming up.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
there
it
is.
honestly. Go ahead.
Go ahead with yours. I got a little add-on to yours.
It honestly really was supposed to have released. I want to say almost a year earlier than it did. And the problem with it was they weren't used to making open world Zeldas, and it got really buggy and they couldn't fix a lot of the bugs and had trouble with it. So what they resulted with was delaying it and saying, you know, just wait, it's going to be epic. Think Game of Thrones and the Dragons. It's coming, it's going to be epic, we promise. And people were even starting to doubt they were going to put it out at all because it just kept taking so long. And of course, the Wii U just kept faltering because Nintendo advertised it so poorly.
Well, here you go. Monolith Soft, the creators of Xenoblade series and co-developer studios of the Breath of the Wild, is hiring for a new Zelda project. Monolith says is looking for technical artists, programmers, planners, designers, and project manager. No hint is given to what the Zelda project would be. Simply ask for staff who can help, quote, create new surprises and emotions. So maybe a was it that one? Was it Zelda Four Winds or what was it?
Ocarina of Time? Oh no, you're thinking of the one they showed, Link's Awakening.
No, I was thinking about the 4-player Zelda one.
Oh,
Four Swords.
Four Sword.
Or
That's one, Four Swords.
There's a
Four
couple.
Swords was. There's another one though. There's Triforce Heroes, which is the 3-player one,
Oh, okay.
which was the more recent one on the DS that nobody played.
But going back into Zelda theme, let me see. I don't know the studio's name, but if you give me 2 seconds, the makers of Crypto the Necrodancer is going to be making a Cadence of Hyrule Zelda.
Interesting.
Yes. There's actually an announcement trailer that's about a minute long. I guess Crypto the Necrodancers is like a rhythmic kind of style dungeon crawler.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah, so they are making they have the official IP from Nintendo to do this.
Nice.
So I'll link you guys so you can actually look at the images. It looks pretty good. The Cadence of Hyrule, and it's going to be a Nintendo Switch. That's what you need. Just something else to distract you on your Switch.
So what's it gonna be, like an Elite Beat agent type
I
thing?
think Mike could better describe what Crypto the Necrodancer is than I could.
Think D&D meets Rhythm Beat Heaven.
Ah, okay.
So that's something to look forward to. That Nintendo's actually extending the branches to other companies to let them use their IPs.
Uh-huh.
So
And the last time that happened, we got Zelda and the Faces of Evil and Wand of Gamelon. So you better all hope this goes right.
it looks pretty good. I mean, they can't really go wrong with a reskin of their game with the Zelda theme.
You know, you want to think that, you really do, but have we not all seen enough developers do it to know that they can actually absolutely go wrong with anything? I'm not even naming names or being salty here. I'm just saying.
Or there is that I heard it the greatest term for it today. It is the early access game that was released for $60.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about Fallout 76, right?
No, I'm talking about Anthem.
Oh.
Access. Because there's another early access I want to look into, which Dreams early access begins on April 16th on PlayStation 4. Which I don't know what this is about. Have you heard of the game Dreams?
No.
Apparently,
Nope.
it's like it's been in development for like 6 years, and everybody's hyped about it. So I have no idea what it is. I'll have to check it out later because all this week I've heard like people wanting to see a release and whatnot for it. Comcast is building a esports arena in Philadelphia.
Here, GameStop's opening e-rooms, esports center too.
A center like the mall.
Like, oh hey, we're gonna open a YMCA for esports.
Oh no, this is worse. They're building a
What's
stadium.
the point? They're going to be closed in a month anyway.
Yeah, we hope.
No, this let me pull it up. I don't have my notes in front of me right now. There's
Actually, well, I was gonna say, while you're pulling that up, I actually did read a frightening article that GameStop just got a new CEO who is promising to basically rebrand, reskin, and take GameStop in a new direction, which is either really awesome or really frightening, depending on how he decides to go about it.
If they can learn to treat their customers better, I'm all for it.
All right, so I pulled it up. So there is a arena complex in Philadelphia. It's got like
Hmm
6, 7 things right together. They are building another stadium for the Overwatch team, and it's going to be like 5. How many people can it sit? 3,500 people. It's going to be
Interesting.
6,000 square feet and cost $50 million.
Wow.
I have to be honest though, is building an arena like this really necessary, considering that when it comes to online gaming, it can be consumed mostly at home, even if you're using like a pay-per-view style.
Well, you want to. They're trying to probably get into the like esports genre of stuff.
I'm just saying, building a whole giant arena, I mean, we're not talking football here where you need a physical space to play. Hell, some of these competitions at the entry level, you play on your home console. You don't actually go to a physical place until you're fairly far into the competition.
Well, look at the picture I dropped in Discord. It's going to be right next to the Eagle Stadium,
Which is kind of cool, but
which is right next to the Philly Stadium, which is right next to the 76er Stadium, which is next
All right,
to the casino.
fanboy, chill out.
I'm not fanboying. I'm just like, why? Why are you going to
No,
spend
you're right.
$50 million on a place like this for like Overwatch League?
Where you could easily rent it out for tons cheaper.
Well, they're thinking like they can get more. It's a smaller area, so they can like house more events there. But still, like, why?
yeah, but
Yeah.
to me, it still feels like a waste of money. I mean, I get the intention behind it, I really do.
Why don't you spend that money on getting better players? I mean, like,
Oh, just hit it out of the park to begin with, dude. Come on.
well, if they do that, the Phillies might hit out of the park and hit one of the windows. Shit.
Or a kid in the head.
Yeah. So what,
But then again, we are talking about the Phillies.
yeah, that's probably not going to happen for a while.
Not in our lifetime.
Now, some rumors, which were actually confirmed, is that there is going to be some new Switch models coming out. It's more likely, think of it like a Pro and Lite version. The Pro is going to be probably like a beefier, better hardware, operating, whatever. And then the Lite one is like going to replace their DS. So that's going to actually make me stand back a little bit and not get a Switch right yet. Cause like
This isn't unusual. This isn't an unusual move in Nintendo's playbook either. They do this a lot.
well, do you think they're going to make exclusives for the hardier one, or are they going to just keep it all in the same playing field?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did make exclusives. I mean, think about originally, if you remember, with the DS, the only exclusives that anybody ever got were Pokemon.
Well,
Pretty
I'm
much.
talking about like there was this new 3DS that came out, and there was like a couple
Right.
games.
Well, what I'm saying is when they upgraded the hardware and they started pushing the new platform, oh my God, there was a special edition for every freaking game that came out as long as it was a Nintendo property.
Yeah.
You can get special edition Zelda, you can get special edition Monster Hunter, you can get special edition.
Coming.
But
You pick. I mean,
yeah, I think
and don't
that,
even get me started on the Pokemon options anymore.
yeah. Well,
My current 2DS looks like a Pokeball.
but going back to it, like I was saying, like last weekend, I was ready to buy a Switch. I actually had to stop myself from getting a Switch, and like I was looking today, and there's a Yoshi one for like $2.99.
Mm-hmm.
I think it came with Joy-Cons too. So let me pull that up real quick.
Was it actually an American one though? Because for whatever reason, Japan's been getting a lot of exclusives in terms of special editions.
It's not a special
American
edition.
hasn't gotten crap.
It comes with was it Yoshi's Crafted World? Here it is. Let me see where it's from. Nintendo Switch with neon blue, red Joy-Cons, wireless controller, and Yoshi's Crafted World game bundle for $2.99.
I'll be honest, the Switch surprised me in being that it's the first Nintendo console, handheld or otherwise, that did not release with an option to buy one with a game. Literally everything else that they've ever put out, you could buy a cheaper bundle usually without a game, but there was always an option to buy a bundle
Yeah.
and have a system, a game, and everything out of the box ready to play. Except the Switch. The Switch was the first time where literally all you got in the box was a Switch.
Yeah. Well, I've heard
You
that
didn't.
there's some issues with the dock, that sometimes it scuffs the side of the
The
Switch.
dock can scratch the screens if you're not careful. Since you have a young boy playing it, I would severely recommend a screen protector.
Oh yeah,
It's
that was like
it's $12 and it's going to be worth it. Or your other option is you can go on Etsy and people make little fabric covers, because the piece of the dock that's important is actually in the bottom of the cradle. The outside is just a piece to hold it in place.
yeah.
It doesn't matter how it connects, so they make these little fabric covers that go over it and do the same thing. They just keep the edges from scuffing.
Gotcha. That was
Either or,
first
you're
thing.
looking at about $12.
And that was the first thing. Like this weekend, the encasement for my watch got nicked. So I was like, I ordered a screen protector and put it on now. And now I can use my charging dock as intended versus just a charging cable.
Nice.
So that's one of the first things I do whenever I get a serious piece of equipment, like a phone or something. It's
Yeah.
I'm not touching it until it gets a screen protector on it.
I won't lie, my current phone has gone through 2 Gorilla Glass protectors because, my hands don't work so good and I drop stuff. But the protector has done its job every time, and the Gorilla Glass protector shattered and my screen was fine.
And that's why, like, ever since I started my job with Terminex, and I had to go in the roof or in attics with insulation, I got a life-proof box for it, and I end up getting a life-proof box for my my work phone too, just for the case I don't want all that stuff getting inside and clogging it up and whatnot.
Yeah, it makes me sad. LifeProof does not actually do anything for consoles currently.
I mean, why do you need to case up your console? It's going to heat up like hell bad.
My Switch, my DS, I wouldn't mind nice cases on those.
I can see that, and that's something I'll be looking at for my son.
You know, I'm not talking my Xbox. My Xbox doesn't travel. The thing barely moves unless I'm moving the entertainment center to clean or something. But my consoles that are designed to go in my bag and be on the go, yeah, I kind of want something a little more than. I mean, since I have a special edition DS, I can't even get a case for it because the Pokeball one. On the Pokeball one, there's actually a button on the front cover that sticks up that you can press that would be the release catch on the Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's ever bothered to even make a crystal case for it, which wouldn't be that hard. You'd have to take some measurements, 3D print it, and leave a hole for the button. But nobody's bothered to make one, so there's just no case option for it. I have to buy a soft case and put it in that. I wouldn't mind a life-proof case for my DS.
It doesn't. It looks like they got some like cases, but not what you're looking for.
Usually, if I have a special edition, what I want is the clear crystal hard shell. Or something to that effect that's going to I don't want a case that's going to cover up the fact that I bought the special edition one. I obviously bought it because I liked the way it looked. And I can't even find that. Like, I could get a crystal case if I got the Pikachu edition, because that one doesn't have anything sticking out. But the Pokeball edition was either poorly thought out by Nintendo, or they just assumed nobody would want a case for it. Or both. I think both is actually an option.
Actually, this one doesn't look too bad, besides the color. I mean, it's got like freaking 1,100 reviews, and it's holding off 4.5 star. So that might be something I'll be looking at for my son. Oh, there's a black one.
Well, I'll be honest with you, most of the cases for the Switch at Walmart are straight up garbage.
Yeah.
I've owned most of them, they suck.
Oh, this isn't from...
Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're better than putting nothing on the Switch, but just barely. They're poorly made, they fall apart. Honestly, when it comes to cases for something like that, this is going to sound weird, but I recommend Etsy.
Yeah.
Mostly for the fact that the people that are making it actually give a shit.
I could see you rocking that second one I just sent you. But yeah, I got some shopping to do. Kid's birthday is officially Thursday, but celebrating on this weekend.
Yeah. Well, tell him happy birthday from us.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 8 years old already. Holy hell.
Don't you feel old?
It's just like, I got pictures when you first come into my door at the house of like almost every year, and it's like he was like big enough to fit his skull in my hand and then lay down and not even touch my elbow. So.
Oh, y'all talking 8-year-old, 4-year-old. I'm here sitting with a turning 12-year-old this year.
Yeah, I understand that. I got.
My favorite picture of my little girl is she's in her NICU pod, and my hand is on her back, and shoulder to ass fits in my hand. She was so tiny when she was born that she literally fit in the palm of my hand.
It's like a little bean.
Pretty much.
But, oh man, it's so good. I'm enjoying this Stanley, I guess you call it a Stein. It's like one of those, what do you call them? The little thermal things that you get from all over the place, the Yeti cup thingies.
I have no idea.
The
Tumbler?
water bottle type things?
Yeah, where it keeps your drinks cold for long.
Yeah.
Yeah, a tumbler.
Yeah, Stanley makes a Stein of the.
Huh.
I saw one of the Yeti ones go through a truck fire and there was still ice in it.
But nah,
which I'll admit is fairly impressive. I can see why they want what they want for it.
Yeah, but they don't support the military, so that's why
See, and
that's why their stock
that
went down.
kills it for me.
Their stock plummeted, just like Starbucks. Yep. But yeah, I'll be looking at the Pro model of the Switch when it comes out and see if it's worth it. But it goes back to don't buy the first generation of a console when it's released.
Generally. I mean, I'm happy with the Switch I have. I'm not really bitching about it.
Yeah.
I figured there were going to be some hardware remakes no matter what because it's Nintendo and there's always freaking hardware remakes.
No, yeah, but they're known for it because of how many DSs they have.
Exactly. And you know, someone was asking online today what the lifespan of the Switch was, and I had to ask them to clarify because I'm like, well, if you're talking the system, that really depends on how careful you are with it, etc. I said, but if you're talking the actual life of it as a console generation, Nintendo's been known to put 8 to 10 years to a console. I mean, they actually ran customer service and had parts for the original Game Boy to the mid 2000s.
Yeah, Nintendo's always been great with that kind of stuff. I'm sorry I'm not contributing as much as I should be tonight, guys.
Now you're quite good.
Yep.
So I got
Nintendo likes to actually get a lifespan out of their consoles. They're not about, okay, the console's out, let's make the next quick buck on the new console. They'll issue 90 editions of a console and make money that way, but I feel like the Switch is probably going to have at least a 10-year lifespan. The Wii was 10 years. The GameCube had a good solid, 8 years?
Yeah, if not longer.
The Nintendo 64 had about 8 years, and the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, they were still offering customer service and selling new ones while they were selling the GameCube and the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see the Switch going away anytime soon. I just don't know, how many editions of it we're going to have and what the lifespan's going to be, which was the question they had asked. But I was really confused just by the scope of the question, because are you asking, how long till you destroy your actual physical toy? Or how long till Nintendo goes, okay, new system? In my opinion, they're two different questions.
Nintendo's always had good higher standards. I think of them as like a Target versus other stuff. Because, Target might be a little expensive, but you'll go there for the customer service.
Right.
Like, you can find people and they'll help you versus Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even kidding. Nintendo, the reason the DS took so long to come out was the president of Nintendo said it had to be able to fall 5.5 feet, which he figured was the average height of an American who would keep it in of an American adult who would keep it in his breast pocket. And it had to be able to fall that far without cracking the screen, cracking the hinge, or breaking. Nintendo puts their handhelds through washers, flushes them in toilets. There's actual footage of them dropping the GameCube off a building just to see what would happen. Like, by the time they release a console, that's why I'm surprised the Switch is so easily damaged, because normally a Nintendo console's like, bring it. An original Game Boy actually went through a bomb and came out the other side still playable, for crying out loud.
Yep.
So Nintendo doesn't screw around with their quality, usually.
Next thing I want to talk about that was really interested and kind of spark up my a good thing would be the Wolfenstein Youngblood coming out. If you buy the deluxe edition for $40, it gives you a buddy pass, which basically you have one friend that can play it with you while you're online. And I thought that was pretty neat in a sense.
Nintendo actually used to do something like that, if you remember. If you bought like Mario Kart, you could have one other player play without owning the software, and they were I forget what they had to be one kind of character, and it's that weird one that never talks. But Nintendo used to do stuff like that, where you could actually just play multiple players with one cartridge.
Yeah, I think they did a lot of that with the DS, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that now. Yeah, it wasn't really utilized because you had to be like, that was good for like being on the bus and doing that.
Oh, are you kidding me? Me and my friends used the hell out of that because that meant if all of us wanted to play Mario Kart, I think we figured out only 3 of us had to own it for all 8 of us to play.
We gotta also remember I was a dick, so a lot of people didn't want to really hang out with me. I'm still kind of am.
You're
I
our
do the same
dick.
thing.
It's
I
okay.
just hang out with other dicks.
Yeah. Well, here's the
Trust me, most of my friends proudly call themselves dicks. So
Yeah. Oh man, here's the biggest issue right now. I'm looking at the screen protectors,
mm-hmm.
and there's either anti-glare matte, there's HD clear. Jeez, there's too many.
Do remember too that the Switch does have a touch screen, so there's going to be fingerprints on it depending on what you get.
Yeah, this is. I use this same company for what I just got on my watch, and yeah, you can't even see fingerprints once you put your finger on it, even after working all day.
Nice.
So, yeah, so it's either matte or clear.
I think I went with clear with the last one I had, and I actually haven't purchased one for mine. Thing is, I'm doing a rent to own with mine. It's currently insured, so quite frankly, I'm not that worried about it until I pay it off.
Gotcha.
Worst case scenario,
Yeah.
I break it and they have to give me a new one. It's like owning it's like driving a rental car. That's what the extra insurance is for. Screw it.
I used to not do that. Screw that. That stuff racks up, man. Freaking like $20 some odd dollars each. Lastly, the thing I want just touched on was the Apple Arcade. And too bad Rob's not here to flame. I think.
Hasn't Apple already gone down this road once before?
Well, it's just like you can say the same argument with Google and their stuff they bring up.
I'm just saying, I feel like Apple tried this once before, failed at this once before, and I don't get why we're going to do it again.
Okay.
I don't.
They're the next challenger approaches. A wild spot for streaming video games appears.
Everybody gotta have a game theme here.
Seriously, it seems like everybody heard about streaming games and they're like, "Ooh, I want a piece of candy."
Oh, being a multi-billion-dollar industry, yeah, people are starting to be like that.
Yeah, but I guess the question is it a fad like other things, or do you think it's going to be worth investing?
Oh no, gaming's going up. Period. That's all it is.
No, gaming's going up, yes, but do you honestly think that streaming is going to stay steadily popular, or do you think it's going to wane like other fads in gaming have?
No, it's here to stay. I mean, it's gonna be because of the way climate is working, stuff like that. You know, gaming is gonna be the next escape. You know, baseball is winding down, football is winding down, all that stuff. And yes, it's argumentative, but numbers talk.
Yeah.
I mean, gaming is here to stay, and the audience is only getting bigger, even with streaming. So that's that.
And in all fairness, I agree. The NHL is not putting asses in the seat, or the
NFL.
the NFL is not putting asses in the seats like they used to. Major League
I am
Baseball
literally the
is not.
closest one to Canada. What are you doing?
I was gonna say hockey's still going pretty strong, at least in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, hockey's great.
You know, I've only ever been to a couple of live hockey games, but the attendance at our games are usually pretty good. But it's one of the few sports that still has a strong presence. A lot of the rest of them are just fading. And you are not the closest to Canada. I can literally spit right now and hit Canada. The Peace Bridge is 20 minutes from my house.
Okay. I am a 1 hour drive from any the major city. So 1 hour ride and then boat.
I think
Because
I'm
I can just skip across.
Are we counting the time I have to sit at customs on the Peace Bridge? Because that's what takes the time. Honestly, if we didn't have to sit
I've never
go through
been,
customs, it'd be like about, I want to say I'm an hour and a half from like Toronto, minus going through the border check.
Yeah.
Which can take
I've never
up-
been, so I can't give you a time. Sorry, I'm just fucking with you.
But yeah, I live literally about 20 minutes from the Peace Bridge. In fact, when I was telling you guys I drove through Buffalo the other night, I actually drove right under the damn thing, which is smack into the heart of Buffalo.
Hold up. Why is it called the Peace Bridge? What the hell have Canada ever done to us that they needed to build us a bridge?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I never actually looked into the history. I just know it's the freaking Peace Bridge. Just like I know on the other side of it, it's the QEW. I don't know why it's the Queen's Expressway. The Queen's in freaking England, for Christ's sake, but there it is. I don't ask questions. I just acknowledge what's around me. That requires a level of caring that's way above my pay grade.
I can see one going to Mexico being called the Peace Bridge. I can see one going to Cuba being called the Peace Bridge. But the Canada?
Pot's legal in Canada, so I guess it's peaceful over there.
Oh, very true. We're just looking at brighter things now.
Jeez.
Like I said, I don't know. I just know it's the Peace Bridge. I've never actually questioned it. I've been across it probably 20 or 30 times my entire life, and I've never really asked any questions. It's just the Peace Bridge. It's always been the Peace Bridge, I think.
I don't know. It's just such a weird name, right? For a bridge to Canada. And especially opposite, if you go to New York, that ain't the Peace Bridge at all.
See, now you're messing with me, because now I never thought about this. This is the kind of shit that keeps me up at night, man.
It's freaking weird.
Thinking about bridges keeps you up at night.
No, thinking about why stuff is named the way it's named. Seriously, I'm at work the other day and I'm looking at the floor, and I work in a large warehouse type setting, and I'm trying to figure out, because of how smooth the floor is, did they pour the concrete or did they actually move in slabs like with a fucking tractor trailer? And I don't know why this is going through my head or why I even care, but apparently I cared that day. Like, it bugged me enough that I actually asked the manager.
Wow.
Who then looked at me like he wanted to drug test me on the spot.
Wow. Anyways, our Apple Arcade. There's probably gonna be another service, and it might push the big titles out and keep the small titles away from the spotlight, I guess. I don't know. It's an Apple product, and we all know how everybody feels about Apple products. It's overpriced for not a whole lot of things, because one of my friends figured out the really hard way and the really big reason why you don't buy an Apple phone.
Because Apple is the devil?
It took her 4 hours to get an account. To have the ability to use the phone. I don't know why. And she's like, you can help. You're a tech person. I'm like, I'm a tech person, not a shit person.
Okay, Mike, I have the answer to your question. It is
What's
called
that?
the Peace Bridge because it commemorates 100 years of peace between the United States and Canada.
Like Canada's gonna fight us.
I've always called them America Junior, so no, but I guess
I-
somebody felt we needed to commemorate peace.
With Canada.
As Robin Williams once put it, Canada's like a loft apartment over a really great party.
With Canada, right?
I'd let Canada win just because they're so nice. Like, we'd be treated better.
So what, you can get your syrup on your pancakes in the morning?
I got enough of that shit here. I want some fucking poutine. How about you guys?
Poutine is amazing. I eat it all the time.
There's only 1 or 2 places around me that make it. It's like, I'm not traveling there today.
For those listeners who don't know, poutine is French fries, cheese curds, and brown gravy. And as disgusting as it sounds, you don't judge until you've tried it because it's freaking amazing.
Not brown gravy, beef gravy.
Yes.
It must be a northern thing.
Yes, it's a Canadian thing. If you don't live on the Canadian border, you don't eat it.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. It's just like we have pasties, cookies, and all kinds of minor treats around here because we're a hugely minor community and no one realizes that.
Wait,
Shit.
you live close to the border. Do you have Timmy's?
I wish.
Because we have Timmy's. Hell, I have a Tim Hortons right across the street from me right now.
We have 1 Burger King in my county.
Oh, that's right. You guys don't have sidewalks. Why would you have a Tim Hortons?
Shut the fuck up. We have sidewalks in town.
in town.
And I have a sidewalk going from my neighbor's house to the end of the street before we hit the intersection. So we're good.
Here's my question.
But after that, you're on your own.
Here's my question. Is your driveway paved or dirt?
Oh, it's paved.
Okay.
I ain't never living on a dirt driveway again. You fucking kidding me?
How far does it take? How long does it take you to take the trash can to the curb?
Am I grabbing it from the garage or from the house?
Wherever you have it?
About 15 seconds if I hustle my bustle like Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Do directions to any of your friends' house include the phrase "turn off the paved road"?
A few why.
Just wondering.
No, we are a very rural community where I live. Like, you guys
He's trying to make a
have
community.
all this stuff. No, we are. We are a community. I can definitely say that. I have come home and there have been a random turkey sitting in my porch because people knew we couldn't afford one.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like wild turkey. I was like, damn, that's royal as shit.
Oh no,
No,
but
you've
I
probably
have.
seen them too.
Oh no,
we,
wild turkeys. You don't fuck with them around here. They will kill you.
we got wild peacocks over here.
I
have
thought you were
deer.
talking about wild turkey whiskey, and I was like, no, but I have bought for a guy who couldn't pay his own, just because it was the same type of bourbon I used to like. No, we look out for each other here, man.
Y'all keep on talking about shit, and all I got here is pollen, summer, and freaking beaches.
And
No,
shitty
and right
Starbucks
now-
coffee.
I don't even go Starbucks. Bigby all the way. But no, right now it's the thaw here, and all the dust is getting uncovered. And everyone's like, "Ooh, it's starting to be spring." And I'm like, "Fuckers, you're kicking it up. Stop."
Yeah.
Do you guys have sheets?
Sheets.
I have a sheet on my bed.
Yeah, it's a
No,
restaurant.
Sheets is a gas station /restaurant. It's one of those weird truck stop things. They're all over PA and parts of New York. I was just wondering if you guys had any.
No.
I've heard of
We
them in
don't even have.
North Carolina.
We don't even have interstate highways here.
That's just sad.
Now,
Where the fuck are we gonna go? Another mile in the wood?
well, here's the context. Sheets I know I've heard from North Carolina because that's where I'm from. That's the equivalent of now what's popping up around here. It's called Wawa.
What the fuck?
WAWA. That's what it's called.
Well, walk your way back out of here. No, thank you.
I am serious. You can look it up. Their logo is like a geese too.
Sheets is freaking crazy though, because the way you order, you can go inside and order like a regular restaurant, or you go up to the drive-thru, but you don't talk to a human being. You order with a touch screen. You roll down your window and use a touch screen to order.
We just got touch screens in our McDonald's.
No, we still have humans.
Hold on.
Through my order up every week.
Just to make John happy in our McDonald's. Fucker.
I don't go to that place. Yeah.
I try not to. I try to either get Subway or from an actual restaurant around here because that's all I fucking have anymore.
Subway is not an actual restaurant.
Subway, I said,
Subway
or
is
an
also
actual
not that
restaurant.
healthy. But at
Bubba,
least
do
I
not
get my
talk
order
about my
right.
steak and bacon.
Steak and bake or steak and shake?
Steak and bacon
Uh,
from Subway. What the hell is a steak and shake? What the fuck? Why would you want a steak shake?
it's a restaurant.
I think Steak and Shake is a restaurant. Yeah.
It's kind of like Checkers or something like that.
What the fuck's a
or-
Checkers?
In
What's-
PA, we have in PA right over the border. There's a restaurant called Quaker Steak and Lube.
What is a besides McDonald's a burger place you can go to get 24-hour burgers?
Around here, there ain't not open 24 hours. Try again.
Okay.
I was
So,
gonna say.
Oh,
dang,
wait.
Shit.
I think there's a Hardee's open, but that's in Marquette, and I ain't driving 30 minutes.
Hardee's?
Uh-huh.
I know Hardee's.
Yeah. There's
The closest I could come is if I drive a half hour, I could probably hit a Wendy's, and they're open till about 1 a.m.
Let's see. Around me, you got Big Boy, Taco Bell. In Marquette, you have Big Boy, Taco Bell. Well, okay. If you're talking fast food, we got Hardee's, Taco
What
Bell,
state do
Wendy's,
you live in there? Bo?
Michigan. You want my zip code?
That's
Because
why
it'll be easier.
there's nothing good in Michigan.
Type in 49855 or 49849.
4988 what?
No, 49849. And then after that, type in population.
I'm trying to see if there's a steak and shake near you.
Good luck.
Apparently, it's 23 degrees where you are right now.
Uh-huh.
What's the
was
closest
warm
main
today.
city that you live in, Michigan?
Main city?
Ishpeming.
Lance is about 6 hours away.
Lansing?
I love it. Your Wikipedia page can't even give us your population. It says it was 6,470 in 2010. That's the last time they bothered to take a census of your shit-ass town.
It hasn't moved much.
Okay. I'm looking at Michigan right now. So
Uh-huh.
What is it?
What party are you on, the glove or are you in the wolf?
I'm
Because
looking.
there's two parts to Michigan.
I guess the claw. I don't know. I'm looking at Lansing. If that helps.
Okay. Go up
Would you
and go
believe that
over
you
and go to
have
Marquette County.
From your town?
What?
What's that?
There's an actual list of notable people from your town.
Well, anyways,
Uh-huh.
It's a
there's
small
steak and
list.
shakes in your state. So
Yeah, about 6 to 8 hours away. I ain't driving that far.
wait, are you in Midland or something?
I'm in Ishpeming.
Where the fuck is that?
Type in my zip code, 49849.
Seriously, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page. Hey, you lied. It says there are highways and an airport.
The airport's been out of commission for 30 years, if not more.
Oh, that's
Well,
the
it's
top
still on
part.
the
Holy
Wikipedia
shit.
page. It also
And the
says
highways-
you have a railroad and a bus.
Why the fuck are you
We-
there? You're looking on Peninsula.
Fuck you!
I typed it in, and it's like, yeah, you're in the up part of like above Wisconsin. I'm like, why? Why would you be right there, surrounded by water?
Because water's awesome for one.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure that cold breeze helps.
In all seriousness, listeners, Mike aspires to live in bumfuck nowhere. I think he's actually a
None
little
of you
bit south of
fuckers are
that.
here.
Well, he's a part of a state that's not connected to its actual state.
Nope, that's why everyone that lives below Mackinac Bridge is called trolls.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So I'm looking at YouTube
You
right
have
now.
a
How
Beaver Island.
Uh-huh.
Is it what I'm hoping it is? Probably not.
No, probably not.
Historical events.
Not.
The
Yeah,
movie
there's
of
not
Anatomy of a Murder was filmed in Ishpeming and surrounding areas in '59, based on a novel by Ishpeming native John D. Volker under the pen name Robert Traver.
Yep.
Extensive 50th anniversary celebrations were held in 2009.
Holy crap! There's yeah, you have no steak and
I
shake.
told
in your
you.
Little it looks like a
The
pig
green-
snout face.
The Green Bay Packers played their first ever road game in Ishpeming October 19th, 1919,
Damn,
and the
dude,
Packers won 33-0, which was probably the last time they did so.
Dude, what the fuck?
I told you. You didn't fucking believe me, but I told you.
At the end of the 19th century, 1/3 of the population of, I can't pronounce that because it's Swedish
there's
municipality
a
in Sweden,
Norway.
emigrated to Ishpeming.
There's a Norway and a Nigeria next to Iron Mountain in your
Oh, that's Niagara.
Niagara. Okay.
Yep. Iron Mountain is a good place. That's where my wife goes to college for nursing. It's one of the bigger towns.
Why? Because
Points of interest.
they have two street lights.
Iron Mountain, they got 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, how many do you have?
You can count.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, hold on. 2. Because we switched one for a roundabout, which no one knows how to fucking use.
Nobody knows how to use them here either. I don't think anybody does.
And that
We just
whole,
drive through them really fucking fast and pray.
and that whole
And you take
pig
into consideration that most of my population around me is elderly, so about a quarter is everyone, and we're all like got to the Canadian mindset of no, you first.
Holy shit, dude!
Okay,
I could
Points of
almost
interest.
count how many roads there are in that upper part of Michigan.
points
Yeah.
of interest. Jasper Knob. A bald
Yeah,
top hill composed entirely of jaspilite.
We gotta end this thing because we'll go on and on with this little thing here.
The Alqual
I don't know
Recreation
why you.
Center.
I don't know why you did it. Believe me,
Dude, I believe
I
Suicide
live
Hill
in the
Ski
middle of
Jump?
nowhere.
What the fuck kind of place do you live in? Suicide Hill Ski Jump.
Suicide Hill Ski Jump. Right past it's a great little fishing hole that I love taking kids to.
And old-ish statue.
Ooh, you guys want a picture?
Oh god.
No, Old Ish is awesome.
Oh my god.
What the hell, man?
Hold on. I gotta show you guys because he's cool.
Oh,
I realize we're all very tired, and half of us are probably on cold meds and screwed up. But at least we got through the whole show. This can always be edited out.
dude, this
No.
this needs to stay in because I'm literally looking at the outline of this part of Michigan. It looks like a pig, like a face.
It's
of-
not. It's a wolf. Shut up.
with a really long snout.
It's a pig.
It's a
Have
pig.
you ever seen a wolf?
Yes, it's called Red Dead Redemption.
Dude, I can walk out my back door for like 10 minutes and probably find one.
Yeah, he's probably your cat.
She does look pretty raggedy.
Oh my god.
Hold on. I got a picture for you of Old Ish. This is Old Ish. And he is the symbol of my town.
I'm guessing that's where.
Ishpeming, you dumb shit.
No, I'm talking about where you put the freaking picture.
Oh, mods.
Okay. Did you like,
Well, that makes a lot more sense then. Now I understand why half the shit in your town is unpronounceable. It's in a Native American language, just like half the shit around me.
Yeah,
For example,
it's
I
either
grew up in a
Finnish.
town called Gowanda.
It's either Finnish, Swedish, or Native American language around me.
I grew up in a town called Gowanda. So, yeah, I really
Gowanda, unite. Sorry. Do you know the way? Yeah, we can end this. I'm so dead right now.
I'm just still like, I probably can count all the streets in that part.
Well, I was going to be impressed because I thought you actually had an elementary, a middle, and a high school, and then it says right next to middle school shares building with high school.
Oh, that, and we had the middle school that was by itself shut down.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Not enough kids.
And your mascot for every school is the Patriots.
No. Ishpeming Hematites, Westwood, and Aspen Ridge is the Patriots, and then Nagani has the minor.
Are you talking about G-Town?
Oh God. Oh,
What?
Oh God.
Heather asked me if I was talking about G-Town, Gowanda.
Oh God.
Which I'll tell you what, next week we can all make fun of the town I grew up in.
Ugh. I love my town.
Oh God. I'm so glad I'm like in an area that's
Has people.
has stuff like street signs and people and
Hey, I have street signs and people. I
and-
also grew up within spitting distance of the reservation, which meant my cigarettes used to only cost 50 cents a pack.
I have people and street signs around me.
Yeah, and how much is a pack of cigarettes where you live? Because my brand is still only made it up to $2 a pack.
If I went to the res, I could get it for $3.
Well, that's where I go to get mine, is the res.
No, I smoke cools.
Wait. You actually have a res there. I'm willing to bet you guys sell Seneca too, which is what I smoke.
Yeah, actually, we can
we
get them
don't
at the.
condone smoking.
No,
Oh,
we
we're
don't.
still live.
Yeah, I thought you ended the live, dude. You thought we were.
It's your fucking body. Do what you want, kid.
Yeah.
And how much is what for here?
Yeah, how
Oh,
much are
Lord.
Newports where you are? He smokes
All right,
cools.
guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye, guys.